Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube.
It should be live, right?
Yep.
Okay. Really hope this is working. If this is working, hello everyone and welcome to Awesome Hardware. This is episode 96. You're watching the first half right now, and we'll be doing a second half as well. This episode is not like any normal episode. We do not have anything specific planned. We're streaming from an undisclosed location, and we can't tell you guys where we are or why we're here. So, there is that. We also have Steve from Gamers Nexus. He's here. We really like their stuff, so go check out Gamers Nexus, gamersnexus.com. They have a YouTube channel, and they do written reviews and all that good stuff. Really good things. So we're going to do a lot of Q&A today. This is probably going to be a shorter episode than usual. Probably going to go about a half an hour for my half, and then we'll switch over to Kyle's and do another half hour. And I really hope you guys can hear us. We're streaming from an undisclosed location. I can't tell you guys where we are.
The audio, my ears.
So there is that. We also have Steve from Gamers Nexus. He's here. We really like their stuff, so go check out Gamers Nexus, gamersnexus.com. They have a YouTube channel, and they do written reviews and all that good stuff. Really good things. So we're going to do a lot of Q&A today. This is probably going to be a shorter episode than usual.
What's wrong with the audio, guys?
My half, and then we'll switch over to Kyle's. Do another half hour. And I really hope you guys can hear us. We're streaming from an undisclosed location. I can't tell you guys where we are.
It's just loud.
So there is that.
It's just loud. Audio.
Gamers Nexus is here. We really like this stuff, so go check out Gamers Nexus, gamersnexus.com. They have a YouTube channel, and they do a lot of good stuff. So we're going to do a lot of Q&A today. This is probably going to be a short episode.
Sorry about the audio, guys.
And then we'll switch over to Kyle's. Another half hour.
We were really on the fence about even doing the live show today, but we missed last week. And we missed last week mainly was that you, Kyle? Kyle really wanted to spend Valentine's Day with his wife.
That's bullshit. That is a total lie. The only reason I spent Valentine's Day with her is because you were like, I'm going to be a good husband and spend Valentine's Day with my wife, Kyle. Let's cancel the show. And I was like, well, fuck, I don't have anything planned for Valentine's Day. I want to do the show. And you had to be all romantic and sweet and shit. And I was like, fine, I guess I'll spend time with my wife. So yeah, don't call me out.
So you should be thanking me for having a lovely Valentine's Day with your wife. Whereas
no, I'm not gonna thank you. I'm not gonna thank you. I'm sure my wife's bullshit. That is total lie. Actually, she'll probably curse you.
Kyle, is audio coming out of the Awesome Hardware stream right now?
Yes, it is.
That's where it's looping.
Okay.
So are they hearing
The stream.
Yeah, what?
That's what everyone was
They're
hearing?
probably hearing the stream delayed again because we're using in-camera audio and captured audio, and that hopefully helped.
We're not streaming to Twitch, so I don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
I think we're good now.
I really hope that fixed things.
Where did the comments go? Here we go. So much better. Okay. Yes.
People say that's better, you fixed it?
Yep.
Wow. If only someone had warned you about that before we started streaming.
It's all my fault.
It's normally not Kyle's job. That's the other thing that's different about this show.
Exactly.
Normally I'm running the XSplit, so
right.
I will completely, I'll completely agree that there's certain things that don't come, like instinctively. Yes, exactly. With XSplit until you have used it for a few years or whatever.
Indeed.
So they're working now?
Yeah. All right. Cool.
They seem less angry.
All right, good. People say that's better.
Yeah.
So actually, in fact, you might turn the system sound up just a touch.
Okay.
Because I was pretty sure when I set that mic up that it wasn't peaking or anything like that. Sweet. Oh my God, we already have a donation.
Woo!
Thank you, Jominator. Just because it's badass seeing Samson of PC Master Race on the show. Referring to, of course, to Steve. His glorious hair. We're trying to work out Steve getting a sponsorship from perhaps, I don't know, like Head and Shoulders. I mean, they're big. They probably have a lot of money to throw you.
Yeah, L'Oreal, Head and
Shoulders. Maybe go
L'Oreal, Maybelline.
I'll take it from whomever at this point. Any conditioner manufacturer out there. Unless, I guess you don't want to put really bad stuff in your hair, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be something. It's got to be a product you can stand behind.
You can always cheat it in post-production.
Doesn't like burn your hair off or something.
Yeah, right.
It's ideally made in some kind of...
Your next sponsorship's for Rogaine.
All right. So guys, we're going to be, if you came here from Twitch, sorry we're not streaming to Twitch today, we're on limited hotel Wi-Fi. But I do have Twitch chat up, so you can still chat in there if you guys want to use that as a chat room, I believe. Do you have Twitch chat up? No, Kyle doesn't. He doesn't care about Twitch. But I do.
Well, we're not even...
You're right, we're not streaming to it. But if you say stuff in Twitch, I will probably see it. And if you guys have questions, try to ask them. And if you want to do donations, we'll probably see those more readily because it highlights them in green. For that, go to gaming.youtube.com/this video's URL.
Indeed.
But yeah, thanks to any of you guys who are watching the show right now. Again, not normal at all, but we wanted to come through for you guys with a live show, and this is what we've gotten. We literally have the camera and the mic set up on the folding ironing board that was in the hotel closet.
Yep.
It's been.
I posted a tweet for proof.
Kyle tweeted that.
Yes.
Disturbed Medic, thank you so much for your $5 donation. We have a secret meetup. Yes, he wants us to have fun at our secret meetup, and Steve, he wants a Steveism shirt.
I can make that happen.
Steve,
we literally have. He's got one of our shirts
the camera and the mic set up. You guys have a store?
No.
Folding.
I'll ship it out to Patreon.
That was in the hotel closet.
Yep. Sweet.
Well, yes.
Your Patreon, by the way, is patreon.com/gamersnexus.
That's it.
Okay. So if you guys want to support them, they have a shit ton of equipment that Paul and I do not have with our testing. They test everything exhaustively, and a lot of that equipment costs money. So if you guys like the stuff that they do over at Gamers Nexus on their YouTube channel and on their website, go ahead and support them on their Patreon page. Sure. Also, thank you very much, Automatic Nats, for the $5 donation. Hey, Kyle, sub to your new channel. I think we could bump up the price to $3. Wow, actually, you're not the first person to say like you're charging people low. Yeah, I mean that's what Floatplane charges now with the Alliance crew. So obviously, I have to compete with that. Well, that's good to know. Thanks for the input there, Matt. Also, any tips for cleaning tempered glass side panels? Let's see.
I mean, standard window cleaning products work.
Yeah. Like any other glass.
I think the thing you need for cleaning tempered glass side panel windows is a nice set of gloves, like something that you can wear while you clean them, so that when you install and everything, like put the gloves on and you don't get any fingerprints or whatever.
Gloves to be safe.
If you want to be safe.
Yeah.
Especially if you have an RGB tempered glass side panel. Static discharge can really depending on that.
By the way, quick announcement on my store, bitwit.tech/store. Just went live.
Same audio window.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell?
What did you do?
Jesus Christ! I opened it up in gaming so I could see the donations.
Oh, it reloaded
and it reloaded. It doesn't keep the volume settings.
Sorry.
Anyway, there's a Crystal RGB shirt now in the store. You guys want to?
You made a shirt of that?
Yes. And it even says "Let's light up some crystal" on the shirt. It's pretty epic.
That's awesome. Hold on, I'm gonna make things brighter.
Okay, we're already at 2,000 ISO.
3,200.
Here we go.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it looks good.
We were trying to get everything set up before the sun went down, and the sun hasn't gone down yet,
but it's going down.
It's going down. So, all right, cool.
You already told them that we don't have anything really planned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, nothing planned for today, guys.
Steve actually wrote our entire show.
Yeah.
He actually does have a few topics lined up. So we're going to be mainly going off of that and answering some of your questions in chat for today's show. It's also going to be a bit more condensed than it usually is. I'm going to say half an hour per side.
Yes.
Instead of the regular hour. So bear that in mind. Hopefully that's cool with you guys.
Shout out to the people who are still holding strong in Twitch chat. Even Twitch chat is letting us know about the audio issues, by the way. So thank you guys.
That's commitment.
Thank you there. All right, so I do want to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that Steve was talking about before we started the show, because Steve, of course, doing a tech news website, knows lots of tech news. So he actually had a few topics that he threw out there that I thought were interesting. So all of these have articles, I'm assuming, on Gamers Nexus.
We just did one. Yeah, just one article for all of them for a roundup yesterday because we needed some kind of content for today to hold the fort while here. I guess the easiest one is probably the RX 460 MSI cards. So there's two new RX 460s from MSI. Pretty late in the launch cycle. The only reason this is really relevant news is because they're half height. So that's kind of cool. I guess it's a reasonably powerful card, and for $100. Same for the 1050. You throw something that's $100 into a small form factor PC. That's a pretty good fit.
It's been so long since I built like a half height system.
Yeah.
But you can get them especially like the mini ATX ones. Like you can do a really.
Silverstone's got a lot of good boxes for that too.
That could be interesting.
Yeah.
Have they made any recent mini ITX cases with the half slot?
I'm not sure if they have the
support
half slot. We definitely saw stuff with half slot at CES.
Okay.
But I'm not positive if it was new.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was kind of interesting. They're both off the top of my head 1090 megahertz base and I want to say 1200 megahertz boost. And then 2 gigabyte and 4 gigabyte model. At last I looked, prices were TBD.
Nice.
So that was the news out of MSI for the 460s.
That's definitely good news for those who maybe have like an older like pre-built system or something like that too, that maybe either didn't come with a graphics card or came with like a much older one, where the CPU is still decent for, you know, a lot of the, you know, basic GPU bound games. They just need a graphics card, but they can't really get one because they're all full height instead of half height and stuff. So that's
so that wasn't bad. Then I guess there was a news topic on from JPR, John Petty Research, which take their numbers with a grain of salt, but they're still a research firm that has a lot of work in the industry and some history, so it's certainly better than any of us could come up with in terms of getting numbers for sales and things like that. So they reported that, again off the top of my head, that in terms of market share for AMD and NVIDIA, last quarter AMD for GPU market share has gone up to I think 29.5%, and the previous measurement that JPR reported, which I believe was a different period of time, but previous measurement was 21.6%. So AMD's gained some ground in the GPU space, with NVIDIA taking the remaining 70.5% or so.
Did it say how much of that was due to the RX 480 at all, or?
It did not, but it's pretty fair to assume that that's most of it, or just Polaris in general.
Right.
They did publish something in JPR several months ago that showed a boost from Polaris, so that's not unreasonable. And then they also had numbers on overall sales of AIBs, attach rate of add-in boards or AIBs to systems. So that attach rate would be like if you go out and buy even just SI, system integrators, building finished systems, attaching a card to it. I think that was up to 44%, which is an increase of 36%.
46%. I have your article here, Steve. Increased 36% year over year, comparing Q4 last year to Q4 or Q4 2015 to Q4 2016. Total attach rate is 46% now. And of course, this is all from Steve's article on gamersnexus.com. And then the market share that AMD has now that he mentioned, 29.5%, is up from 21.6% last year. So that's a pretty big jump. And
definitely.
I asked Steve earlier if that includes consoles. We don't think it does.
I think it's just add-in boards.
Probably just add-in board cards. And then I like stats. AIB shipments peaked in 1999 at 114 million units, and in 2015 there were 44 million units shipped.
But they're up this year a couple percentage points, and by this year I mean 2016, because that's when the metrics are from. So they're up a couple percent from that 44 million number, but still down overall.
Good news for PC builders and gamers, because it shows that information tells the manufacturers that people are interested in those types of products, and it means they should hopefully keep making them and everything. So cool.
Really quick, some donations from Dr. B1900. Thank you very much. Hotel room, is this the baby oil episode at last? You know, I guess if a baby oil episode were to happen, it probably would be in some sketchy hotel room.
There's a bed. There's a bed right here.
But I think we'd have to slum it up a little bit more for that. Maybe like a Hotel 6 or a Motel 6. You know, or
this is a slightly nicer hotel.
Yeah, this is we don't have any like luxury baby oil on hand to justify the setting.
You don't.
Stay tuned for part 2. $5 from Matt Grimes again. Steve, thanks for your video on embargoes and NDAs. It was really fun and interesting to watch. I recommend Kyle watch the video as well. Yes,
I mean, it was partially directed at Kyle.
I think it was. You know,
I mentioned Kyle. I wasn't directed.
I do a lot of things for the community in my own special way. Like get Steve to make useful videos. Yes, I think I skimmed through that video, and I think it's definitely a topic that a lot of people, like we were talking about earlier, don't fully understand, like the difference between an embargo and an NDA, and exactly what what's going on behind the scenes when all of us reviewers post a video at the exact same time at 6 a.m., or whatever, and everyone's like, is it like a collab? Is it a conspiracy? Illuminati or anything? It's go watch that video. It's very useful.
Plenty of competing sites that don't really know what they mean either. Embaragos and NDAs.
Yeah. like for instance, there's information we could be discussing right now with you guys, but we're not, because we respect NDAs and we don't want to break them.
Nope.
Because there's kind of this mutual thing amongst people in the industry, so it's frustrating when you see people go outside of that,
right?
Because it's someone basically taking information that is not supposed to be shared, and probably for their own benefit, just like being like, here, and by putting it out there. And for people who read it at home, like, I understand getting excited about that stuff and reading about leaks and that kind of thing, but the reason NDAs happen, and Steve explained this very well in the video, is to keep everyone in the press on even footing, and to make sure that when you guys get information, it's not just coming from a single source that might be biased or might have wrong information or something like that. You should be able to go to like 8 or 10 or 20 or however many sources you want to read about information when a product launches. And for that reason, we very much try to abide by NDAs.
Yeah. And like the companies that make these products, they also have their own kind of marketing plans in place where, if someone like leaks information early, it kind of screws everything up for them. All the marketing dollars, that they're using, from the funds that we're giving them paying for these products. And, as business owners ourselves, like there's something valuable to that. And when people just don't give a shit and they just leak information for their own personal gain and have no respect for businesses that are trying to profit and continue doing what they're doing for the community, it's like having a best friend that just like leaks every secret you ever tell them.
Right.
It's just it's frustrating.
The point you're making, certainly on the business side, on the profiting side, like we understand very well what has to be done to stay in business in this industry. It's not easy, at least on the media side. But there's a big side on the community too, where giving us the time, even if it's just a week or something, to look into a product means that hopefully each one of us can develop some kind of angle on the story that's not just regurgitating all of the slides that whatever company has given us.
Yep.
So you actually get like filtered and thought through information rather than I'm going to repeat all of the slides in an article or whatever and take credit for it. And it's ultimately gives you way higher quality content to consume.
So that's why NDAs exist.
Definitely.
And thank you for that donation. It led to useful talking. Shout out real quick to our mods, Spider as well as Cell. Thanks for being here, guys. I'm seeing you. I see you.
Word.
You guys are great.
Word.
And yeah. Let's see. Do we have any new questions that have popped up?
There's a $5 donation from Richard Dorch. I missed the frontside bus overclocking on my X58 system. I sure hope AMD allows frontside bus overclocking on Ryzen. It makes the OC process so much more fun. OC with only multiplier is kind of boring. I don't know anything about Ryzen at this point.
Yeah, we don't know anything about Ryzen, but frontside bus overclocking, I mean, I understand nostalgia, but it's mostly a thing of the past.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's to some extent been replaced by base clock.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overclocking in the past, like I never did it back. Like honestly, I never did it when it was that confusing. When you had you had a memory, external memory controller and a north bridge and a south bridge, and that was back when your motherboard could have a really serious impact on how fast your system was overall. But a lot of that stuff that used to be little components on the motherboard has all been gobbled up by the CPU, PCI Express memory controller. Most motherboards now just have a single chipset rather than a north bridge and a south bridge, and it has simplified things in a lot of ways. I mean, there's pros and cons to it, of course, but I would say I understand nostalgia, but I'm glad that we don't have to worry about separate clock speeds for all of those things and getting them all to play nice together anymore. But yeah, let's see. I think was there one more item in your news story, Steve?
Gabe Newell.
Hey, Gabe.
He I don't think I included that part in the story. I think it was only in the video.
Oh yeah.
He was with a table, kind of a round table of other editors, I think, and said was talking about performance of VR in the market. There are not any, unless it's changed the last 24 hours, public numbers on Vive sales or even Rift sales. I don't believe anyway, not recent ones. So it's hard to gauge just how successful those products are. And Gabe said, paraphrasing, but this should be pretty close to the quote, was he is okay with the idea that VR could turn out to be a complete failure, but also had the caveat that Valve is still very optimistic about VR. They're still investing in it, still developing titles and working on the Vive. So, but it seemed to me not like an escape plan, but more of a like, we're being realistic about this. This is a new thing that is very complex and different, and people don't always latch onto those ideas so quickly. So
it's definitely like VR is one of those things that everyone who I've had try it thinks it's awesome, but there's so many people who still haven't tried it because it's difficult to access the hardware if you don't know someone who's a computer enthusiast or something like that. And they've done a fair amount of like demo setups at malls and that sort of thing that I've heard about, but I've also heard that those aren't as appealing because
it's a crappy environment.
Yeah, it's just not the greatest environment. You're using a headset that's been used over and over again and stuff, and you know, get the eye herpes in there and stuff like that, and then all those complications that you don't really want to deal with for VR. But I don't know. I would agree. It seems more like realism. Like it doesn't seem like he's like, oh, it's on the downslope or anything like that. It's just being like, yeah, and I don't know. I feel like Gabe is pretty good at just.
He seems like a straight shooter.
Speaking his mind. Yeah,
totally.
He doesn't mess around too much.
He's very transparent.
I respect him.
And I think I kind of like sometimes I see VR as sort of like laser tag in a way. Like people aren't gonna buy a laser tag set and play it in their house. They're gonna go to a dedicated like facility that does laser tag. I feel like that's kind of what VR is right now. Where unless you are an enthusiast, you're not going to like dedicate a space in your house for this really expensive technology. You know, I mean, so it's just like there's just the barrier to entry is so high right now, and until that, you know, it becomes more simplified and mainstream and more affordable, I think it's gonna. It's probably going to be something that we see take off in like with like third-party businesses like laser tag center sort of things before.
Location-based entertainment.
Exactly, yeah. But
and the content's not. I haven't enjoyed a lot of the VR content beyond initial impressions so far, but I think that's more of a challenge that developers have to figure out. How do I build for this thing and make it mechanically intuitive?
What kind of game are you hoping for VR?
I don't know, to be honest. I'm mostly a strategy player when I do get to play games. So that means a lot of game mechanics as opposed to game experience. And I feel like right now VR more caters toward experience and
definitely
immersion and realism, of course. So
I think the headsets need to get a lot smaller. I think the theoretical technology. I think it's been. They have done some like development of it, but where like in Ready Player One, where it like shoots the image with lasers onto your retina rather than having a display that sits in front of your eyes or something like that.
That's a feature, trust me.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds painful, but it also would be a much simpler way of having a VR headset or something like that. But yeah, streaming all that stuff down, I think would make it a lot more accessible for people, and then of course the cost being a huge barrier to entry.
Right. Space.
Yeah, and then as computers get faster and we have new computers with more cores and better graphics cards at launch, that should help too. Not that we know anything about that.
Nope.
All right. Let's see. We are actually coming up on a half an hour pretty quick here, I think.
Yes.
And we do have some other things that we need to go to this evening. So this is going to be a very short stream. I think we had one or two more donations pop in there.
Yes. $5 from Nick Dimitriad. Sorry if I butchered that.
Thanks, Nick.
Kyle, I just want you to know you look really buff from this camera angle.
Oh.
Well, that's why I sat here. Because it's all deceiving. Just wait till you see the other side. Thank you very much. $5 just to tell me that. I'm flattered. $5 from Justin Horton. Thank you, sir. Love the show, guys. Any word on Ryzen ITX boards coming out with launch? Don't need specifics, but if they are making one, need one for my Lian Li Q37 water cooled build.
That's a very good question.
We should have
Hopefully
created a cricket sound effect.
Hopefully you'll be able to find out the answer to that question soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Potentially.
And I saw one in chat there from
this one?
TV.
Oh, TV.
TV put one in there. I saw a minute ago. TV Chow, he said penis. That's why I wanted to read it, because he just said penis.
Yes. We appreciate the penis donations.
It's gone? It must have scrolled by. Sorry, TV, but I did see your dollar donation, and we did say penis for you on the stream. So there you go.
And then $1 from Jominator. It doesn't help that some of the exceptional titles have been boring secretary workplace game.
Oh, yeah, job
about-
simulator. Yeah.
Good point.
That's how that goes. And then that one you already got.
Got that.
Yeah, Justin's got. Cool. Oh, there's Stevie's.
There we go.
Penis. Stevie said, ahem, penis. Can't donate as much this week. Most of the paycheck went to college books. F school. I can't wait to graduate and flip burgers. We wish you the best with that, TV. Thank you for the donation.
I'm sure it'll taste.
Yeah.
I'm sure your burgers will taste way more delicious with a college degree.
More educated.
Yes, indeed. All right, it's 5:45, and I think we started at 5:15.
Yes.
So, just for the sake of brevity and us moving things on, and Steve's actually got a flight to catch in a little bit too.
Yep.
So we need to be.
This is madness.
We need to be concerned with all this stuff again, guys. I know this was sort of a weird, awkward show and everything. So yeah, don't assume this is how it's always going to be. Although next week might be similar. Who knows? Who knows?
For reasons
we'll see how that goes.
Yes.
But guys, we're going to switch over to Kyle's channel, so we'll try to post those links in the chat and everything. Thank you all so much for watching this one, and hit the thumbs up button, or if you thought it was crappy,
Dislike
then
the shit.
you shouldn't. Steve's here. We brought Steve.
Yeah, come on. He's the only good thing about today's stream.
We're like, we can make it a really crappy stream because we have Steve there. Like, look, everyone, Steve. Okay. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and see you soon.
BRB.
Kyle, you're supposed to click the thing that.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I kind of forgot that I was in control of all this.